So I have called in some of the most beautiful experiences, and I've just received some of the most beautiful things in life. And outside of deepening my relationship with Christ, I would say that I owe a lot of my manifestation to social media and content creation specifically. Now, I have a few points. I'm going to break this up in different parts just because it's quite a bit. I think I have a few points that I want to hit on, but I want each point to feel like the main topic because I want each point to have like a good amount of attention on it because they're all important. This first one that I want to discuss is something that I have never heard anyone else discuss before, and it is about reps, getting in reps. And what that looks like, I'll give you an example. This can work for everyone. It works amazingly well for me, and I'll tell you why. Because what I do for content creation goes hand in hand with what I desire in my life. And so it's perfect for me. Now, I'll give you an example of someone, it may not be as potent or as transformational, because let's say, for example, um, you're a writer and you write in the genre of horror and thriller novels. So you're creating content around that, and maybe you're just talking about the novels. This wouldn't necessarily propel you forward as far as manifestation the way that it would in my example that I'm going to give you. However, if maybe your desire is to public speak or something like that, then it obviously you can get the reps in that way. But I'm going to tell you how I get reps in and how it just freaking transforms my world. This is exactly how I manifested my birthday vacation in Dubai. I spent the month of November in Dubai. And the day that my ex showed me those tickets, that day was the day that I had done reps for someone else, not for me. So this is the key. When you do content creation, I'll take myself for example. My two forms of content creation, my main two forms of content creation are sitting down and talking with you guys like this and showing my fitness routines, my health and wellness, even my lifestyle. And of course, those things are behind a paywall, but that's still my form of content creation. And so when I'm creating content, obviously I'm making sure that it's the best content. And if I'm making sure that it's the best content, that means I'm going to be getting more reps doing those things than, someone, let's say, for example, who's doing the same things but isn't creating content around it. What do I mean by that? Let's take my fitness content, for example. When the camera is on, it is that much more important to me that I show my good form, that I go longer than I need to, that I run longer than I need to. I record my cardio sessions and I do weighted cardio. And I've recently upped the weight on my cardio. So it's actually a lot more pressing for me. It's a lot more intense for me these days. So the moment that I press record to record my cardio sessions, every time when I feel as if I want to put the weights down, or I feel like slowing down, I feel like taking a break, I feel like walking instead of continuing my jog, I'll push myself further in the name of getting that quality content for you guys. Because my thought process isn't just, let's run and let's just do the cardio and get it over with. Like most people who are doing cardio, now that I'm creating content for my cardio, I'm thinking to myself, well, don't stop now. You only have 10 minutes worth of quality cardio content. You need more than that. So I go for longer. If I see something that I don't like in my content, I probably am going to cut it out, right? And I'm going to redo it. So imagine that mindset of if I don't like it, I'm going to cut it out and redo it. Imagine that in fitness. Imagine that in weightlifting. Imagine that in cardio. You're going to quantum leap. So that's my point. So it turns into after weeks or months or years even of prioritizing quality health and wellness content, literally the sexiest and the most vibrant version of myself. Last year when I was recording content, the best version of myself. Right now I think that I'm crossing that threshold of this is now the best. Back then, and I'm going to be honest, I've been kicking myself a bit because I've been holding on to who I was around that era on the cusp of 24 to 25, just physically what I looked like, my body, I kind of got away from that because I got away from content creation. And so there was a little bit less accountability on my end, right? As far as how often. There were some times where I wouldn't, because obviously my business is picking up. There would be times where I wouldn't hold myself accountable with the fitness. And there will be times where I am being invited out to eat more often, dinners and networking lunches and all of these things. And so my intermittent fasting isn't really, holding on. And so there was just a lot going on. And so I've kind of been in this mindset for the past few months, actually. Wow, I look sexy. But I remember back in September, October, November when I was freaking killer. And that's kind of been my story. I'm going to be honest, for some months now. You have weddings and you have these things and you indulge. And so right now I'm at that cusp where I'm like, wow, like this is legit the best I've ever looked, the best that I've ever felt. And of course, one of the biggest keys to that is the content creation. Content creation is just good because being fit isn't even the goal anymore when you're creating content around fitness. Being fit isn't the goal anymore. Creating content for your audience is the goal. So now the health and wellness is just automated and it's just put on the back burner, which is exactly where you want it to be. You want your fitness to be on the back burner because that means that it's so ingrained in you. It's so embodied that it's not on the forefront of your mind. You don't have to think about it. It just is. Same thing with money. You guys want to get to a point where you're not constantly thinking about finances or bills. It's on the back burner, automated, not taking up so much space in your mind. So this is just another example of when you choose to create content, you make it that much easier for you to quantum leap. You make it that much easier for you to just warp your mind with results, to blow your mind with results. I'm just lucky to be in this beautiful place where it's just this fluid cycle of you guys benefit from my work. I benefit from my work and we're all just receiving and it's fun and you see the results, right? So this is a beautiful reason for anyone to begin creating content. If you're just doing it, privately for yourself for progress tracking, that's a start. But I'm going to challenge you to put yourself out there, publicly, put yourself out there and you will never know who you can inspire. So many people, they have this like weird mindset of like, it can't be me. Oh, who, me? Of no one's little old me. Like, I wish I would say those freaking words about myself. Are you joking? Yes, you. Get some, like, don't annoy me right now. Like, don't piss me off. Yes, you, right? Get your butt in front of the camera and show people your before and after. Show people what you're made of. Show people your transformation. Everyone, listen, you're done. If you don't have a transformation story, if you don't have a before and after, if you don't have a journey that you can take someone on, you're done. AI is going to take your job, right? You need to get on it now. And I'm going to challenge you to do that publicly. You can do it privately, but I'm going to challenge you to do it publicly. This is just the easiest way for you to show up as the best version of yourself. Turn a camera on. It's the easiest thing to do. Actually, I want to dive into the exact way that I feel that I manifested my birthday vacation in Dubai. The year of 2024 is when I really had the strong desire that I wanted to spend my 24th birthday in Dubai and just, things happened and it wasn't able to work out. So the year 2025 comes and it kind of got to a point where I had already decided. I decided at a certain point, even with my ex, I decided because, like guys will try to put you in their financial kind of box. And I don't like that. So for me, it was kind of like I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say about the finances. I don't care what you say about how much you'd have to pay for your ticket. I'm going. So that was the first step. I decided. And the moment I decided, I was afraid. And I remember I was journaling because I'm like, okay, well, I've decided. And if it doesn't happen, that's going to be pretty embarrassing for me to live with inside of my head. And so, but I decided. And so I remember the day that he showed me those tickets. That was the day that I was actually working on cloning my voice for a client. She wanted custom recorded affirmations from me in my voice. And so I had to, use this AI thing and I had to clone my voice. And so if you know anything about cloning your voice or if you've ever attempted to, it can be pretty frustrating, but you have to send quite a few samples, obviously, so that they can get a full idea, a full range of your voice, your dictation, your pronunciation, all of these things. So I'm having to send scripts and like sample scripts to the AI so that they can place my voice, so then that they have the voice and I can just do text to speech with my voice already embedded into the thing. And so my thought process was, okay, well, I'm going to use this cloning to do custom affirmations. So I want them to know exactly how I would say certain words. So let me just use the sample scripts and use that to, say the recorded affirmations, because in that way they'll know exactly how my voice will sound saying these affirmations, because these are verbatim exactly what I'm going to be typing into the text to speech anyway. So with each script, I'm just reading off these affirmations. I don't even remember the affirmations. It literally doesn't matter, but it was definitely just about, things going right and prosperity and abundance, just general things. I definitely was not specific about Dubai. I did have Dubai affirmations, but that wasn't something that I was consistent in. I'm going to be honest. I created them and I used it a few times. But in this situation, the affirmations that I was recording, it was very general. They were just general good feeling affirmations. And so, but I kept having to do them because it was very difficult. And, spoiler alert, I was never able to clone my voice. It just did not like any of my samples. I used my podcast mic. I didn't use the mic. I, waited until the AC vents, went off. Like I did everything and it just would not work. But it's good that it didn't work because I had to sit there and redo it over and over again. So what I'm telling you is I got the reps in with all of these positive affirmations without myself in mind. And we all know that when we're desiring something, when we typically do positive affirmations, there's an outcome tied to it. We're thinking, okay, well, I hope this happens. I hope this happens. So there's a bit more of that desperation for something for ourselves that we want to receive for ourselves. There's that attachment. I wonder if Jesus heard me, like whatever it is. In that moment, I was not thinking of myself. I'm thinking of my client and I'm creating content for her. So I'm sitting here redoing the scripts over and over again, not thinking, I hope I'm manifesting something. I'm going to be honest. After like the fourth time, I got that thought in my head, like, oh, babe, you're going to get some magic from this. But even just in general, I still was doing it with her in mind. So when you're creating content with your client in mind, with your audience in mind, and you're constantly having to redo it because you want to get it right or because it's not working, and that content is positive affirmations, this is why I'm so glad that this is what I get paid to do. And because it's literally a win-win for me. Me winning for myself is me winning for my clients. Me winning for my clients is me winning for me. And so it's just perfect. And, so I'm sitting there getting reps after reps after reps, saying these affirmations over and over again, and literally getting frustrated, like, oh my gosh, I need to do these freaking custom affirmations for her. It had nothing to do with me. I wasn't sitting here thinking, oh, I hope I manifest something from this. I got the little hint that that was going to happen. But like that, I wasn't the focus. My desires were not the focus. My desired outcome, should I have been the one just saying those affirmations, was not the focus. My client was the focus, and getting the recorded affirmations to her so that she can do what she will with it. That was the focus. And because that was the focus, I successfully got out of my way. And I don't even know, maybe 3 or 4 hours later is when I got those tickets. And this was, I think, a month and a half or so before my birthday. So my birthday's in early November. And that's when I got the tickets. So what I'm telling you is I was in such an amazing state of receivership because I wasn't in my own way about worrying or being anxious about the outcome, when it was going to happen, if it was going to happen, if I'm saying it right, if this is like, all of the little tiny little thoughts that linger as you're saying positive affirmations that could linger. that wasn't going on because I wasn't the focus. So when you're not the focus and you're creating content and you're having to continuously do that content over and over again for the sake of your client, for the sake of the audience getting the best quality content that they can get, and what you're doing for content creation directly benefits you, like my content creation will always directly benefit me. Everything that I speak on my podcast is always directly benefiting me. Everything that I'm doing when it comes to my health and wellness, when it comes to sharing you every green smoothie that I drink and my protein bowls, all of that is directly benefiting me. So if I have to do rep after rep after rep of eating healthy, rep after rep after rep of working out to the best of my ability, rep after rep after rep of saying positive affirmations for my clients just to get the content right, what do you think is going to happen in my life? Do you get what I'm saying? What do you think is going to show up in my life? So that is literally how I manifested going to Dubai. And that was something that over a year I wanted that. And then within a split second, I promise you, like, I think I decided when I told you I had that energetic, like, decision, like, it's freaking happening this year. I'm turning 25 in Dubai. I think this was maybe just a few weeks later. It honestly wasn't even a firm decision. It was more like I just really want this, God. Like, can I just decide that it's going to happen? I'm kind of afraid to decide because I don't want to embarrass myself, but I'm going to decide. Yeah. So that's number one. Getting in extra reps. If your content is directly correlated with all of the amazing things that you want to do in life, and this is why I freaking hacked the system, because literally my journey of getting close to God, my journey of learning lessons, my journey of becoming just the best woman that I can be in life and the best future wife and the best future mother that I can be and the best entrepreneur that I can be and the best inspiration that I can be. That is literally my work. That is literally what I get paid to do. I get paid to share that with people. I get paid to tell my story. I get paid to help people dream bigger. So all of this literally ties back to every single thing that I'm doing for other people. It pours back into me because I just chose my niche perfectly. And I think you should do that too. And luckily my niche is also my passion. It's also my calling. And so it's just perfect for me. And so for me, those reps mean so much. I am so sexy. My body is so beautiful. I feel so hot because one of the things that I do is get reps in with content creation around my food and content creation around my fitness. So literally, my creating content for you keeps me sexy. My creating content for you keeps me radiant and glowing and energized. I drink green smoothies every day and I record them for you guys, right? So and I don't really do if you want custom affirmations, I'll do it. I'll try again. That was really hard. Like, the cloning was so difficult, but I will do it again because now I know if I clone my voice and if I do the sample reps again, and I'm going to manifest something else. But I love to accommodate you guys, but I don't think I offer it on my website anymore. So you will have to reach out via email. But yeah, I get the reps in because I care about quality content, and then boom, I directly benefit from that. So another thing is just being a content creator, it just gives you a greater level of responsibility through like discipline and commitment. And this kind of ties into what I've already said, but you feel much more inclined to finish or to continue whatever it is that you're starting. It's like the cherry on top of reasons why you should remain working on your craft, because like now people expect something from you, right? And when people expect something from you, you're much more inclined to deliver. That's just the truth. When you have other people that you don't want to let down, it's very interesting. People will willingly and like easily let themselves down, but they will not want to let other people down, which really sucks. But you can also use that to your advantage through content creation. Builds up your levels of discipline and dedication. And I mean, these are extremely attractive traits to have when trying to become an energetic match for anything, for wealth, for opportunity. If you have amazing discipline and amazing dedication to your craft, you are that much more likely to get whatever it is that you want. So content creation, it gives you an opportunity to show your dedication, to show your discipline. I mean, if you want to get in shape, but you lack the discipline and you want to hold yourself accountable, all you have to do is create content around it. Literally, I remember like a year ago or so, there was this extremely overweight woman, and she made like her first 2 posts ever on TikTok about like getting back in the gym, and they went completely viral. I mean, it was so funny because her next post was like, she was like irritated, like fake irritated, and she was like, now everyone's like keeping up with her progress and expecting more content about it, and so now she can't stop. And it was funny. Now, obviously, if you were really that timid about other people seeing your progress and everything, you could, of course, make your accounts private. So many of my friends do this when it comes to weight loss. But what I've noticed is that the moment you have an audience of people rooting for you, it can be an audience of 5 or an audience of 500. Hopefully, you definitely start with a lower audience, because I think you actually run away from the content creation if you blow up too big and you can't metabolize that like in your nervous system. But the point is, when you have an audience of people rooting for you, you're going to automatically feel that much more capable, and you're also going to feel that much more obligated. But it's a win-win. It's a win-win because like you're obligated to show up and do content, but this content is directly benefiting you as well. That's why I'm an advocate for doing content that benefits you. I know a lot of people, I don't know how you could do like negative content creation, but like I have no desire to ever do anything, say anything, post anything on social media that I do not want more of in my life, right? So, I'm not about that, but yeah. Let's take 2 people, for example. They're exactly the same as far as their discipline levels or motivation. Both begin their fitness journey. They sign up for their local gym, they do the classes, everything. Now, one of them begins to create content around their fitness journey. Who do you think, in the long run, will have more of an incentive to continue? It is absolutely going to be the person who's created content and who's created a routine around documenting and recording their progress, those neural pathways. You've created that routine, and we're going to get into that in another in the separate part, another episode of this topic. But you've created the routine of documenting and recording your progress. Of course, you're going to be that much more inclined to continue. And when you're inclined to continue on your weight loss journey, you're becoming the woman of your dreams. You're going to feel safer in your body. You're going to feel more beautiful in your body. And side note, if you want to achieve the body that you're destined for, if you want to rewire your habits, if you want to rewire your mindset, get my book, The Ultimate Health and Wellness Guide. It's an extremely easy read. I've made it really quick for you guys. It's a mini book. It's available PDF, and it's available paperback as well, always linked in the description. It is amazing. It takes you through your childhood. You got to go through it. I'm sorry. You have to figure out the relationship that you have with food and all of that. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend getting that book. It's in the description. But you are literally going to become the woman of your dreams through dedication, through discipline, through showing up every single day, through commitment. And then also you're getting sexier. And then also you're losing weight. And then also you're like building muscle. So it's a win, 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 win for everyone. You're inspiring people. Everyone loves a good before and after. And if you can give before and after, you are inspiring a big group of people. And that's going to be my second point, which what happens to you once you inspire a big group of people. But this is my first point, and I want you guys to tell me, have you thought about it this way before? Because I have not heard anyone speak about it this way, and I'm really excited to get this out. I want to know you guys' thoughts. So comment down below. If you're a content creator, what reps are you getting in? And is it benefiting you? Because we all know if you're creating content, you have to do multiple takes, right? You have to do multiple takes. So let's say I'm creating content. I'll just keep going, for example. No, I'll hold that off, okay? Because I'm at 20. Okay, I'll hold that off. That's going to be in the next one. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Am I opening something up for you? Are you thinking in different ways? I really hope so. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to stay updated with our website. We are constantly putting new things out there, constantly launching, pre-launching in secret as well. So just keep out for that. And yeah, that's all I've got for this one. Bye.